Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome back to another edition of NBC's 10 Count. I'm C. Fall, but on today's edition, I'm talking to the man who's going to main event Impact Wrestling's Bound for Glory. That's right, it's Eddie Edwards. How are you today?
I'm doing good, man. Excited for the build-up for Bound for Glory. That's pretty much.
Oh my God, I am. It's going to be so exciting because Bound for Glory has been like the staple of Impact Wrestling for so long. People like Sting, Kurt Angle, AJ Styles have main evented this event, and now you are going to main event Bound for Glory for the first time ever in your career. How important is this to you? Because obviously the company, Impact Wrestling, believes in Eddie Edwards.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's been the staple. It's our biggest event of the year. And to be able to do it with, the main event with the world title on the line against Josh Alexander, it's like the perfect storm. Like you said, the company obviously believes in Josh. That's clear. And that's for good reason. But, they give me a shot here in the main event, and I plan on going out there and do what I do best and take that belt home.
Oh man, again, that match is so exciting. But the Bound for Glory name has just been so synonymous with Impact Wrestling. And October 7th, the event will happen in New York. What can fans expect when they tune in to watch Bound for Glory?
Like I try to sell everybody when I do sell them on Impact that they haven't watched or that they haven't kept up. Impact has something for everybody. Maybe you don't like every aspect of wrestling or there's different things that you don't like. But if you watch Impact, an episode of Impact, especially a Bound for Glory pay-per-view, you're going to find something that you love that's going to hook you. Whether it's the knockouts, it's tag team wrestling, it's hardcore craziness, or it's the main event, Josh against Eddie Edwards. There's going to be something for everybody. It's the X Division, of course, for Impact. For so long, X Division has been synonymous with Impact Wrestling. They're still doing amazing stuff in the X Division. But from top to bottom, our roster, I feel, is that one of the strongest it's ever been. So every episode, there's something that is going to blow your mind and something that's going to hook you and keep you coming back. And the thing with Impact and our pay-per-views, there's a thing when you're walking around in the back and you can just feel how big it is. You can feel there's something in the air when everybody's on the same page. It's like everybody wants to go out there and kill it. And there's nothing like a live crowd, a live pay-per-view, and the biggest pay-per-view of the year. Everybody's going to go out there and just leave it all in the ring.
Oh, God, I get the goosebumps. You're giving me the goosebumps.
Chills over.
But growing up in Boston, though, again, growing up as a wrestling fan, and then now here you are main eventing one of the biggest events of the year. It doesn't matter what company you're talking about. Bound for Glory, it's one of the biggest events of the year. Can you imagine talking to yourself as a child going, hey, you're going to grow up someday and be in the main event of this huge event for the championship?
It's pretty wild to think about. There's a lot of times that I've been blessed, in my career where it's like to try to take a second and sit back, like, if I told myself, when I was a kid, if I told myself when I was 14 years old that, I'd be friends with, Tommy Dreamer and D'Lo Brown, like guys that I watched growing up, I got to wrestle the Hardys and Team 3D and like all these crazy things have happened in my career that I'm very grateful for. And Bound for Glory, like you said, main eventing the biggest show of the year. I mean, it's always been a goal, everybody's goal is to be a world champion and main event the biggest show of the year. And I'm lucky enough that this year I get to check that one off the bucket list and hopefully, like I said, leave with that world title.
Of course. And you're a Triple Crown winner already Impact Wrestling as well. So the hunger, is the hunger still there? Because going into Bound for Glory, you can't show up as a Triple Crown winner. You got to show up as the hungry Eddie Edwards.
Yeah, it's a challenge, I think, for everybody whose career, lasts, as long as mine. It's 20 plus years at this point. So it's like, you always have that drive. If at any point I lose that drive or I lose those butterflies or that nervousness before a big match at that time, then you have to question why you're doing it. I've heard, a lot of guys say in the past when, they heard the music play and they were no longer nervous, they didn't get those butterflies, that meant it was time to, hang them up. But I'm still as hungry as ever, especially going into this pay-per-view match. But, it's one of those things where we always try to challenge ourselves. I always felt like the most pressure I have is the pressure I put on myself because I want to go out there and I want to deliver no matter how much the company is putting into you, how much the crowd is into you or not. I always put it on myself to go out there, and I know that I have to deliver, and I always want to challenge myself. And this thing with Honor No More going into it's a whole new character, it's a whole new persona, a new style for me, and it's like a new chapter in my career. And to be able to do that and cap it off with the world title win would mean so much to me.
Well, you have also been with Impact Wrestling since 2014. So there's been a lot of transitions of who you are and what you are today in wrestling. And so obviously playing a bad guy is completely different from kind of the aspect of what you've been doing over the years. Is there a challenge from going from face to heel? Do you enjoy one more or the other?
I don't enjoy one or the other, but right now I definitely enjoy the heel part of it, the bad guy, because I haven't done it in Impact ever. And I've done it on the independent scene. Back in the day, I'd done it in Ring of Honor, but it's been a long time since I've been the bad guy.
Well,
And it's a lot of fun to go out there and try to get the crowd to chant Eddie sucks as opposed to chanting Eddie Eddie. You know what I mean? It's different, but it's stepping outside of that comfort zone and trying something new. Where, when me and Sammy Callahan, we had our issue together, where it switched me to some sort of a lunatic and a crazy man who was a brawler and more of a hardcore guy. That again was stepping out of my comfort zone, trying something new. So I welcome the change, and I welcome the opportunity, and I'm having a great time. I mean, the fact that I get to do it with some of my friends, Matt Taven and Vic and Kenny King and Bennett and Marie and PCO, it's like friends that I never knew if we would ever work together. But let alone we're not only working in the same company, we're a part of the same faction. We get to go on this journey together. It's been a lot of fun.
man, again, and you brought up on No More that there are so many stars keep coming into Impact, and with Bound for Glory coming up October 7th, there's a lot of free agents out there that everyone wants to appear in Impact Wrestling. Is there someone out there that you're saying, like, well, maybe I don't want to give away any surprises, but is there somebody out there that you have the desire to wrestle inside an Impact Wrestling ring?
I think one of the best things about Impact is it has, especially over the last few years, couple years, it's become a destination. Where for a long time, it was the redheaded stepchild. I don't know if I can still say that, but it was one of those things. Yeah, where TNA or Impact, people had this misconception where it wasn't a place where people wanted to go to work. But I'm proud to say that over my tenure, over the last few years, especially, it's become a place that has a really positive effect on everybody. Like you hear through the grapevine, through other companies, people who come and go. We have a good working relationship with a lot of different companies where guys and girls come to the company and they leave, but they're happy and they enjoy working for Impact. So right now, I feel like Impact, of course, is a place to be, but I think our doors open to anybody. And I think that adds a little bit of mystique and mystery at Bound for Glory. Like you said, there's a lot of free agents. For me, I'm down to wrestle anybody. I welcome anybody to come to Impact. I've been here for a long time. I'm proud to be one of the gatekeepers. I want to be that guy that welcomes outsiders. Come on in and let's see what you got type of thing. And, Bound for Glory pay-per-view, you never know what's going to happen.
Oh, man. And you brought it up where, everyone talks about this door. Impact Wrestling built that factory. They built those doors. They sold those doors. Impact Wrestling, since the inception, has brought in people from New Japan, AAA, WWE, and now with the AEW around as well. Like, I don't understand the idea of Impact Wrestling being like, oh, well, you just brought it up, like an afterthought. That's not the case at all. It is really the people who started this movement of let's work together versus working against each other. And during the pandemic, taping episodes and having AEW involved, that must have been challenging to have a pandemic and shooting episodes with no audience and massive tapings, I imagine, during the day. What was that like for you?
Yeah, it was tough. There's times where it's like I'll sit down and watch, our current product, and it's like, man, I wish we had a crowd for these big moments that happened over the pandemic, because obviously everybody knows the crowd interaction just adds so much to the product. And when somebody debuts or somebody returns and you can hear it and the crowd reacts, it adds so much to it. So we were going out there and doing the best we could, and I think that our product was the best thing going during the pandemic, without a doubt. But like you said, we have these big moments, and it's almost like we definitely did the best we could, but we couldn't capitalize on the way we would have if there was a crowd there. So we're still building those moments, and the good thing is there's going to be no lack of more of those moments coming. There's, without a doubt, like you said, we have a good working relationship with so many companies, and that says a lot about our front office, where they have these connections and they open the door that opens the door to other companies, and they come in and they like working with us. And that says a lot about our roster and especially our front office to have that relationship with other companies.
Of course, at one point, Kenny Omega was the Impact champion. At one point, Mickey James, the Knockouts champion, went to the Royal Rumble. So is there an opportunity to see when Eddie Edwards wins the Impact Championship on October 7th at Bound for Glory? Are we going to see you a traveling champion? Could we see you at WWE, AEW, NWA, AAA? Could we see you there?
My goal is to represent Impact anywhere,
Yeah.
any. So for me, my door is open. If somebody wants to come and knock on my door, I will happily open it. I'll
Ooh.
go where anybody wants an Impact World Title match. I will gladly do that.
Oh man, again, this is very exciting. And before we go, though, you, I think, are the face in the heart of Impact Wrestling. Over the past decade, you look at Impact Wrestling posters that maybe faces have swapped out and changed, but yours is a constant. And is that important to you to be this, you said earlier, the gatekeeper, a mentor to younger stars or older stars who are coming in and don't know the landscape of Impact Wrestling?
Yeah, very much so. It's something that, when, people, the commentary would say during matches and stuff, like it was a gimmick or something, but that's something that I truly believe in and I'm proud to be. I want to be a guy that the roster can come to if they have any questions or if there's anything that I can help with. I've always wanted to be that guy that has respect from front office through the roster. And I think I've done the best, to my ability to get that respect. And I feel like I've earned it over time. And
yeah.
I'm proud to do it because Impact has treated, I've said it from day one, Impact has treated me with nothing but respect. So a relationship where respect goes both ways, that's the best type of relationship. And I'm proud to be a member of Impact. I'm proud to be the longest, tenured roster member at this point, and I want to keep it going till the wheels fall off. Basically, that's my goal.
You remind me of how Tommy Dreamer was with ECW, where he was the man. It didn't matter where he was on the card, what he did. He always represented the company the best of his ability. And obviously, you're doing the same exact thing. Again, October 7th, Bound for Glory, you versus Josh Alexander is going to be a hell of a night. Honor No More. We'll see what happens with them because you constantly, I don't want to talk about, what I read sometimes, but when you read some things online and you see contracts in all types of companies, AEW, WWE, Impact Wrestling changing, the landscape of Impact is going to change soon enough with you as champion, but soon enough with maybe some new stars, old stars leaving. What does that feel like when it feels like a new season of Impact Wrestling coming up?
Yeah, it's Bound for Glory. It's the biggest pay-per-view. So it's almost like you said, a new season. We're going to get the momentum from Bound for Glory. People are going to come and go. That's how professional wrestling is. Business is business and people make their own decisions as to what they need for their lives. And I've always respected that. So some people will come and some people will go, but the mainstay will be me representing Impact to the best of my ability. Like you said, and Tommy Dreamer, I don't even know if I want to tell him that I've been compared to him because he loves that very much.
Oh, does he? Oh, I won't say it. You're not Tommy Dreamer. You're the Sandman.
But it's like it is a new season. It's a new opportunity for people to come in and let's see what happens with contracts. But one thing is sure, I will be here, and the goal is to be the Impact World Champion.
Well, again, I cannot wait for October 7th, Bound for Glory, the biggest event of the year. You have to tune in to see it because there's so much happening in Impact Wrestling. You brought up earlier, too, the consistent, good quality shows put on every single week. It's very easy to look at one company and go, I don't like this, I like that. Impact Wrestling, you type in hashtag Impact Wrestling, hashtag Impact on Access TV. No complaints.
That's a good thing. That's what we're doing. We're all going out there. We're all doing the best from front office, roster, production. I feel everybody is on the same page and we all have the same goal. And what that goal is, there's no end game here. It's just to continue making Impact the best we can and continue moving forward and help take it to the next level.
And then one final question. When fans tune into Bound for Glory on October 7th, what do you want that? What emotion do you want them to have when the event is over?
That professional wrestling is awesome and it's alive and well right now. Just be proud, be happy that we're in the time that we are because this is a great time for professional wrestling.
It truly is. There's so much upswing versus downswing right now. And I got to say, thank you so much, Eddie Edwards, for being here on NBC's 10 Count. I cannot wait to see you defeat Josh Alexander, unless I interview him next, and I will say the opposite. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding. A local boy to local boy. I hope you win on October 7th at Bound for Glory. Folks, check it out. I cannot wait to watch it. He's been Eddie Edwards. I've been Steve Fall. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.